Hello again. This is Joseph Azizalahov, the author of the book Metaphysical Maxims, Enlightenment Through Meditation and Morals. I mentioned that, in my opinion, 50% of enlightenment is ethics, morals. That's personal ethics. I'm not talking about green energy or animal rights or things of that nature, as good as those things are, and noble as those things are. I'm also not talking about working in a field which is benevolent, in other words, becoming a special ed teacher or something like that, which is also very noble and ennobling and a fine thing to do with your life, helping other people, absolutely. What I'm really talking about is personal ethics, which was so central to Confucian philosophy, to all of the development of Chinese society, as well as early Stoical philosophy, Cicero, Seneca, Plutarch, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and so forth. Great teachers, the only teachers we really have today outside of the sacred texts. We have to have a teacher. We have to have somebody as a role model for ourselves. If we don't, we're dead. We're sunk. I mean, it's a simple look at our society today. Self-evident. So get yourself a teacher. It's not enough to be a great meditator. I know people who can meditate much better than me. They can levitate, okay? But they don't have wisdom. They're what you might call stupid saints. It's really not enough. The New Age and New Thought philosophers are not into ethics simply because ethics is not politically correct. It puts a restraint on the id. And it smacks of religion, and it's too confining. But the truth of the matter is we've really gone too far in the other direction today, and we really have to strengthen our virtues through proverbs and through getting a good teacher. Now, I like organized religion. If you can go to a temple, a Hindu temple, Buddhist temple, a synagogue, a church, these are places where the truly enlightened will go. They will go there for not only for leave-taking and peace and calm and a time to actually reflect upon yourself or be 3 feet in back of your head or exteriorize your body. You don't have to always listen to the person speaking. It's a kind of a meditation to go there. But most importantly, we need teachers, because if we don't have a good teacher, which is either the sacred texts, the church, or the ancient philosophers, forget about the ones that came after the ancients. They're all just trying to make a mark for themselves in the world. Everybody is negating the one before, and also they're completely dishonest for the most part. They basically don't give credit to where they steal their ideas from. Everybody steals it from the Indians, the Indian philosophers. It all comes from there, and also from early Chinese philosophers. It's all stolen from there. They don't admit it, so they want to take credit for everything from them. So you don't have to go any further than 300 BC, say, in China and in Greece. And I recommend that's where you'll find your teachers if you don't want to go in for organized religion. And that's where you will find, as I mentioned, the Stoics, Cicero, and so forth, and also the Confucians, and of course the great Indian, the great Indian metaphysical philosophers and the Vedanta and so forth, where there is a lot of ethics there too. So I want to make one last point, because we have to be brief. The reason we have to develop individual personal virtue and progress in virtue is because if we do not, according to both Aristotle and the Confucian philosopher Junshi, who both discovered this exactly the same time, around 330, 340 BC, exactly the same discovery. If you don't develop the virtues, either from nature or from nurture or from study, you will be a knave, a rapscallion, a rogue, a scallywag, a dishonest person. If you become a philosopher, you'll be a dishonest philosopher, somebody who's just blowing smoke, just a nonsense, abstract nonsense, because the soul is the source of philosophy. And if the soul is good, the philosophy is good. If the soul is bad, the philosophy is bad. And the soul we've neglected, obviously in recent years. The the children are not getting the right role models, and they're not getting the right education, they're not getting the right books, and that's why we're in the pickle we're in now, where we're bankrupt and all the problems of society today. So please, by all means, get yourself a good book. You don't really need more than one or two. Plutarch's Moralia 1 and 2 is excellent. I like Seneca very much. Philosopher Junji, a Confucian philosopher. Mencius, if you like, Confucius also. So get yourself a good teacher, carry that little book with you wherever you go, and read it whenever you have spare time. Get a good book from the early philosophers or from the sacred texts. And then do your meditating too, but don't forget, it takes two, it takes both. Thanks for listening.